is bigger than you and me. Swiping left and right, there is no matching. Oh no, I've dated so many, this crusade will never end. That's me online, my profile, that's me in the dating app, losing my lonely heart, trying to keep dating, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I haven't been to a matchmaker, I have tried more than enough. I thought that I saw you dating again, I thought that I heard you found your match, I think I thought I saw you cry. Every dinner, every double date, I'm choosing my Valentines, trying to keep an eye on you like a lost, ghosted crybaby. Oh no, I've dated too many, I set yet another date. Consider this the only school of love. Consider this crusade that brought me to your castle. What if all these fantasies come true, but unfilled, all-time waster? Oh no, I haven't been to a matchmaker, I have tried more than enough. I thought that I saw you dating again, I thought that I heard you found your match, I think I thought I saw you cry, losing my Valentine. Oh no, I haven't been to a matchmaker, I have tried more than enough. Find me a matchmaker, I had enough, no more dreaming.
So, good morning, Eva. How are you today? Sunny day.
Hello, Levent. I'm very excited for our conversation today.
So the spring is here, and as you see, the magnolias have opened. Even though it is changing back to snow again, I think it's a very interesting time. It's the springtime, very inspiring time. I'm
I
sure.
hope to go skiing this weekend for the last time this season.
Well, that's another last effort. I always thought that it's such a hard work skiing up the mountain, but I think it will be probably also good for your business. So, just to introduce yourself to our audience, I got this for you. All you need is love. So, tell us a little bit about where you started and where are you with your profession right now.
Yes, my official title is love coach, love and happiness coach, or dating and relationship coach, or love coach and matchmaker. There are many ways that you can call my profession. Basically, I help people be happy in love, create fulfilling, intimate relationships. First of all, with themselves, because the happy relationship starts with you, and then with their partner. So I have basically 3 coaching programs. The main one is 12 steps towards a fulfilling relationship. It's for single people who are looking to start a long-term relationship or a family. The other coaching program is for people in a relationship. It's called 9 Steps to Happily Ever After. Then we talk about how to create and build and develop a relationship long-term. And then the third program is for spiritual people who believe in a higher power, in the universe or God or the unlimited potential or our intuition. And it's called Just Make Anything You Want Come True. So it's very exciting for me. All these 3 paths.
It sounds all very romantic and esoteric. I do remember our conversations on how you actually base this on a kind of a belief system, and it's not just about let's say coaching or achieving goals. It's not like a boot camp, but it's a kind of even a spiritual journey. And tell us a little bit about those three buckets. I mean, do you actually one person, obviously the single and the couple doesn't fall in the same category, but do you mix those, or are they kind of is this how you introduce yourself and basically be a bit more selective in terms of I guess you cannot work very well with very rational people like myself, right?
No, no, I work with rational people as well. I just don't talk to them about the universe because
Okay.
I am myself a very logical person. I have an economics background. I have an
Mhm.
MBA, Master's in Management and Business Administration. So I can work with any type of people. I can exclude the universe. That's why I have created a separate program for the spiritual people. For the logical
Yeah.
people, the dating strategy is like a business plan. So it's I can accommodate all kind of approaches and help anyone who is ready to start a relationship or wants to get ready, because the first phase of my dating program is called get ready for a new relationship. So believing in the universe or not, I can accommodate to your beliefs.
So this whole the recipe, the sauce that you made for your services, I guess you didn't have them from day one. You also went through a journey. It started somewhere, and then it led to, let's say, some kind of, let's call it wisdom. And maybe on the way you picked up better ways of dealing with problems. But I want to hear, and I think you already do this. How do you help them? What is the help, the service inside? Because of course, when you hear like 9 steps, 10 steps, this sounds like a tango lesson, right? And in a way, it is mastery of a certain school of the way of doing things, like in martial arts. But actually, relationships are not like that. Individuals are not like that. So, is it more like a pharmacy where you can just go and ask for this medicine, or is it more like something richer and a bit more of a journey that you also need to customize for your customers? Let's say.
Yes, you asked me many questions. Let's start one by one. How I started? I started 14 years ago as a life coach, and actually, I was the first life coach in Bulgaria, I believe, because I couldn't find any at that time. And slowly, I moved to the love department. So I chose this niche because, first of all, I needed support in the love department for a very long time. And I have been in many relationships, and I was struggling to figure out why it's not happening, why I'm not creating a steady relationship. So, learning on this about love relationships, focusing all my time and energy to figure out what's the secret ingredient and recipe that's missing. And also I realized that this is something that it's missing in Bulgaria in general. Nobody is talking about how to create a love relationship, why so many people are frustrated or getting divorced or single. That's why I chose this niche. And each year, with every new client and with my every other relationship, I was enriching and building this program, because I saw that the main challenges people meet on the path to finding love are rooted in the, of course, the childhood relationships with their parents, or they're lacking a friendship circle, no supportive friends to share their life with, or they have trauma from their past relationships, and or they have a lot of limiting beliefs about relationships, about dating, about themselves as a partner, about the other gender, and so on. So I made this system which It's not a curriculum like, in my coaching program. I do it personally and in big groups, but mostly one-on-one. I accommodate each personal story. So some people need to work more on the relationship with their family. Other people need more to work on their previous partners and relationships. And even other people need to work more on their limiting beliefs. So it's a very flexible system. These are just 12 of the steps that we can choose from, and we can rearrange them, of course, skip some of them, add new ones. It's just an idea about a journey that could be traveled towards love, from single to happily coupled.
Mhm. But you do have a set of, you just mentioned them as well, but you do have a very well defined observations on those issues where the challenges, the limitations are. And over time, how many clients do you work with per year, let's say, or at any given time in general?
At any given time, between 10 and 20.
That's a
But
lot. So,
since the coaching program is 4 months, um, for a year, or for these 14 years, are hundreds and thousands of people, because I also
mhm.
do coaching events, and many more people go through my events. And I have many free videos, and with a lot of tips and practical guidance. Many people even don't need to work with me. They just watch the videos and figure out how they can help themselves. So I have helped practically thousands of people so far.
Yeah, I want to bring the discussion to the profession itself because actually our podcast, the Creative Stream, is for the creative community, for professionals who could use, let's say, a partnership with you because relationships. For me, actually, I'm trying to write a book on relations, not relationships, but relations, which is a much more general and kind of it includes any kind of system that even business and so it's a bit more general for us to remember that it's basically you call it universe, somebody else calls it cosmos, somebody else calls it people. For me it's all about connections. You can have a connection to a furniture, to a planet. You can have you can even have a connection to a certain temperature or light, everything that affects us. And we also, I like actually in most of what you said previously in our previous discussion is that you are in control. I think this is where people are creating a lot of problems for themselves because they don't realize that you shouldn't tackle necessarily the problem per se, but your perception of it and your relation to it. We can generalize this in many ways, but I'm really interested in how also you can share your, let's say, what you have learned as a professional to help others to become or even use some of your ideas in their work. So, as a professional of love coaching, matchmaking, life coaching, do you have, let's say, some kind of a, let's say you had to hire a chirak, an apprentice, and you have to teach them everything. How would you go about making understanding let's say communicating the profession itself, how to become a love coach? This is actually my ultimate question for you, and we can get there slowly, but already uh, because it's, I call this a practice. It's actually, you don't learn it from some book, you don't learn it from some project, but you actually learn it from repeatedly doing the same thing in a different way. So this practice that you have, how do you plan to share it with other professionals and even invite them to join you? Because 10 years ago there was nobody doing it, right?
Yes. Yes, I believe that this is a very personal journey. And first of all, we have to be very open, authentic, and brave to share our own love story.
Hmm.
If we feel ashamed of our love history, if we are not ready to face what has happened in our past, if we have not healed most of the trauma that we have had with our previous partners, it's very hard to be with an open heart, to listen to people's love challenges without projecting our own issues, fears, prejudices on them. That's why the first path, the first step for someone, if they want to help people in any way, not only in the love department, it starts with you. You need personal therapy, coaching, books, seminars. So your self-awareness, for me, this is not only a personal development, but also a spiritual journey. Your self-awareness is the number one thing. It doesn't matter how many diplomas or certifications you have, but if you're not self-aware how you are creating your life, how you are creating your relationships, what choices, what mindset is creating what you're actually living, then you can be helpful probably to some people that have reached your level, and that's it. So if I am to teach people how to become successful dating and relationship coaches, I would first help them make the best out of their own dating and relationship journey, what lessons they learned, and try to make a system out of their own experience, how they can use it, and they can teach other people to use their own love experience for the best. So
This
it's
sounds
not.
this sounds like it will take a while. Is that why it's 4 months?
Well, the 4 months is just the start because this is a personal transformation. This is a journey that lasts a lifetime. It's just the start. It gives you a very good perspective of what mindset shift needs to happen. And it affects all your spheres of life, not only the love relationship. When you start changing your relation to what is happening, when you start blaming something outside of you and you take responsibility for what you are creating, for your choices, your thoughts, your emotions, then everything changes. But it's a process, slowly. And the self-awareness, the acceptance, the gratitude.
How do you do this professionally? How would you train someone, a junior, younger version of you, to actually learn how to create such awareness in a, because there's a
I
client
will I
relationship,
will
right?
coach them.
So
I will coach them to learn to be self-aware if they are not, but it will take a while. So I hope that those people who want to become dating and relationship coaches, they have had already some personal development and spiritual work, so they don't start from scratch. They have certain level of self-awareness, of acceptance, of taking responsibility for what they are creating. So that's why first, when somebody comes to me, many people have come to me actually wanting to learn how to do this. First, I check their mindset. If they have the victim
Mhm.
mindset, if they don't believe that they are the creator of their own life and reality, it's a very long journey. So we check where they are in their journey right now and see how long it will take for that to happen.
What I'm very happy is to hear how happy and smiling you become when you talk about your topic. So, a lot of people are criticizing the fact that we have too much work and, well-being, life-work balance. But in your case, actually, your work is also practicing the life that you want to lead as well. So, in a way, you don't put life on a shelf when you're working, right? It's just the opposite. I also understand that you mention and you're very open about even exposing yourself, which maybe like a therapist wouldn't do, let's say. So it's pretty different than therapy, I would imagine.
No,
Uh,
some therapists do it. It's actually close to therapy. It's not that much different.
what I mean is that you actually are also on the same journey in
Yes,
some
but
sense.
all the therapists and all the consultants and gurus, we are all on the same path, all on the same journey. Just a few steps in front of our clients. because we cannot help anyone unless we have been on that path. This is my belief. So we are walking the same path. We are just a few steps ahead on the path.
Tell us about the process then. The how do you how because if somebody contacts you right now and say, "Oh, I'm interested to become a client and actually get your services," obviously this is an economic relationship, but actually it is a personal and very let's say even fate changing, right? If there's such a thing, basically you're going to even change two lives, even more that is involved. I imagine that you are very aware of this onboarding them and even maybe sometimes aborting early because it's not going to work or it's not going to be, let's say, as professional as you can imagine, because when the emotions are involved and the healing is not there yet. Do you also kind of, yeah, tell us about on the process of the coaching.
Yes,
uh,
first of
it doesn't
all,
have to be limited to the package of 4 months, just in general.
no, 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 it's very flexible. This is just a suggestion. I'm flexible. I'm open to anything a person need and see how it goes. So the first step is I do a complimentary video call with everyone who is interested in starting this journey. I send them information about the coaching program process, about the program, and a few questions to learn where they are, what has happened in their life, on what they want to achieve. And after they send me these answers, we set up a video call and we check what are their beliefs, where have they been, where they want to go, where they are now, and see if we have rapport, if we can trust each other, if we are on the same page and believe that we can move forward. So at this conversation, we decide if we want to work together or not. And if we decide to work together, I send them a coaching agreement where everything is written down, the whole relationship is explained, what they can expect and not expect from me, and what are the responsibilities both of us take for this journey to be successful. Then I send them intake questionnaire, very detailed, 26 questions, and we discuss their answers on the first coaching session. Then they get an access to an online folder with a lot of resources, books, meditations, written exercises, many things, how to have a journal of appreciation. So they can choose from a lot of resources on their journey. There is nothing compulsory. These are all suggestions, all ideas, if they want to experiment with them or not. And after each coaching session, they fill out a short questionnaire sharing what we have discussed, what insights they got, and what action steps they want to take. And before the next session, they send me an email with another questionnaire before the coaching session. From these actions, they did what
I
worked for
understand
them,
these
what
are the
didn't work.
administrative parts of the process, but what actually happens to them?
Yes,
Like,
this is very important. It's not administrative.
course.
It is very important because these are the tools and the structure for the people to be consistent on this journey. Because
Mhm.
for people, love is something that they think it's, out of their control. It's nothing they can do. But when I have broken the process of small steps and technical tools, they can see the path. They feel safe, it is achievable. So this all these tools are really very important. They give them structure, they give them safety, they give them clarity, what it is supposed to happen.
Can you give like let's focus on one of those steps, and you can choose whichever. It doesn't even have to be a step, but imagine I'm really looking for those problem solving moments where you hit you really hit the brakes and say to go from here, your path is blocked, there's an obstacle, this is it. And let's pick one that, let's say, happens quite often and you had to find different ways of creative ways of dealing with that.
The
or it can be
obstacle,
one exceptional one that doesn't normally happen. Let's say.
the obstacles are just one kind, limiting beliefs. That's it. There's nothing else on our path to happiness and getting everything we want. It's our limiting beliefs. That's why we work on the mindset. We identify what you believe about yourself. For example, I'm not good enough. I'm not a good enough partner. I have done bad things in the past. I'm a bad person. I don't deserve love. I don't deserve a happy relationship. That's one thing. Other limiting beliefs are men are so egoistic. They only want sex. They are cold, don't feel emotions, they don't care. So we work with women on these beliefs. About men, men believe women, they only want money, they are so emotional, they're crazy, I don't know how to deal with them, they are never satisfied. You know, all these beliefs that we have prevent us from creating a love filled
This sounds
relationship.
pretty much like some kind of not a prejudice, but like a bias, probably based on their experience or what they heard. But there must be a difference between, let's say, the same thing being said, a generalization about men and women, Mars and Venus kind of stories. I mean, I have seen so many of those. Me, I use Mars and Venus for marketing and salespeople. I say sales are from Mars and marketing is from Venus. But when it comes to people, I think even there's heavy discussions on gender and transgender topics, uh, but actually we are talking about, let's say, typically two sides of a partnership. I think you use the word partnership a lot, right? So actually you may even put a different version of what a relationship may look like in front of them, just to challenge their, let's say, traditional model of generalized model of stereotype roles, right? So you actually have managed to define a kind of a, um, not the alternative, but let's say the model that is easier to work with. Is this a practical model, or is this more like oh, actually you convince yourself? And I also want to bring you to the law of attraction that you seem to be using. Are these related? Is this related to let's say a kind of a imagination of a partner, or is this related to trauma of some real relationship where this was based on actually, let's say, history?
Yes, our limiting beliefs root back in our family of birth, in our upbringing, in our history. We have heard them from other people, from movies, we read them in books. It's many places we get these illusions and limiting beliefs from. So when we are aware of them, they don't no longer control us or make us make the wrong choices for ourselves. So I help people understand that men and women want the same thing. All people, no matter what gender they are, we all want the same thing. We want to be accepted, we want to be seen, we want to be trusted, we need somebody to share our life, our experience with. So I help them believe that they are on the same team. They're not men versus women. We need each other to complement each other, to support each other, to share, to love, to heal. I believe that the relationships and partnerships are the best way to heal our wounds and traumas and to learn how to love. So when we understand that we don't need to somehow, I don't know, outsmart men or outsmart women. On the opposite, we need to be authentic. We need to be open and vulnerable and honest, and just figure out that how both of us to be happy and help each other heal.
Do you have like a set of checks on this exact assumptions? For example, lack of trust, even considering the other side and seeing them as enemy. You know, this I also hear a lot this kind of um, almost hate relationship. So you need to bring them down from hate to seeing it a bit more neutral. And also, I heard you saying, imagine the two are opposing each other, and if you just show them that they're on the same side, you can also set a common objective for them, right?
Yes, so that's why the common goals and dreams are part of my second coaching program. When you are in a relationship, it's very important to have common goals and dreams, to be a team, to know what you are walking towards, what you want to create, to dream together, to manifest your life that you both of you want.
Tell us more about the manifestations and the law of attraction.
Yes, this is my favorite topic. I believe that we create our own life and our reality with our thoughts and focus and emotions. And it is very simple. Our thoughts evoke reactions in our body, which are called emotions. And the emotions have different vibration. They start from the lowest, which are fear, shame, guilt, and slowly we can move up the emotional scale, go to just disappointment, and then probably being neutral, and then move up to the nice pleasant feelings like feeling joyful and feeling appreciation. So if you learn how to observe what thoughts evoke what emotions in our body, and we learn how to experience more joy, the upper scale of the emotional scale, like being a higher vibration, we will be able to attract anything we want in our life, because we don't want house, we don't want money, we don't want a partner, we don't want a job. We want these things as a tool, because we believe that we are going to feel in a certain way after we have them. We believe that if we have a house, money, fame, partner, we will feel happy and satisfied and joy filled. But that's not the case.
You see,
Nothing
this is
outside of
why
us can make us feel something.
I invited you to this podcast, because I'm trying to make a very strong connection between everything that we do that is creative, problem solving. I mean, issues with relationship could be a good example of that. And you need to be creative because, I mean, everyone does it, right? There are actually people who are doing it naturally very well. There are people who are having issues with it every day. So it seems that it's not so close to our, let's say, natural skills, right? I don't know why it is so, but it seems that our nature could be part of the issue. The nurture, uh, how we were educated and how we were taught that men are nothing or women are this and that. I believe nurture is the biggest part. But then you could be living, let's mention Bulgaria, right? It's a culture. So every culture also has a different approach to defining that. But what I like with law of attraction is, you see, this is my model: nature, nurture, culture, and future. I can break down any issue and deal with it using this way of thinking, because we need to have a very natural way of understanding it, understand who nurtured such an assumption as you mentioned. But culture is basically also, they are actually expecting you to behave like that. So actually a good behavior is defined as a bad one, in fact. Let's talk about chaga culture, for example, you know, or others where subcultures could actually not force but encourage you, and even provide you the only way of belonging. So if you see, people group together and they choose their group, but in your case you need to also show them that the ultimate relationship with the partner is all about this two as a unit, as a pack, including the children, our friends and family, to survive in this world, right? So in that sense, it's kind of it has to be a very strong unit that should never turn against each other. This is actually has been only my only how to call it complain, and the way most relations break, in my case at least, is because this unity is lost, and you basically, instead of being two against the entire world, it becomes one against the other, right? So
No,
sorry,
I
it's a
don't.
very long.
No,
Mhm.
no, I don't think that there is anything against anything. It is not two against the world. We are all one. We are all love. Nobody is against anybody. This is a friendly, supportive universe. There is nothing about survival. Our life is not threatened. So
what
this
what I
is
mean is
another
this:
mindset
the
shift that
society.
I'm working to happen.
Yes, but the society is not made of people. The culture is not made of people who think like you, right? In a way,
That's
you are
why
in
that's
majority.
why my my belief system and my support is so needed nowadays, because people believe in these illusions that there is some evil in the world, that we need to protect ourselves from something.
Exactly.
No,
This is
there's
what.
nothing to fear. This is a friendly universe. We are all good people. There are no bad people. There are only people who
We
are
should
suffering.
remind many people that they should stay on the good side of things, because yeah, unfortunately, almost everything you say that should be positive, the majority out there in the world sometimes is in the negative opposite sense. So you're inviting people to love, but there are many preachers out there who are actually forcing people to hate each other. So actually the
Yes,
world.
that's why the less energy and focus we invest in this, the more love we're going to spread. That's why I believe in a very wise saying of Abraham Hicks: if it feels good, milk it. If it doesn't feel good, ignore it. So anything that makes us feel bad, we need to ignore it, not talk about it, not focus about it, not focus on it, because we make it stronger by investing energy. We create more and more of this. This is how the law of attraction works. So there
Sure.
are no bad people. All people are
Basically,
born. Let me finish,
ba-
please. All people are good. Those people who are good, who are doing hurtful things, they are suffering. They are not bad people. So we need to understand that there is no evil in this world and there are no bad people in this world.
well, yeah, in a way, imagine you are in the ocean, there's an island, and you want to go there, and the island turns out to be a volcano. So basically, you're saying don't take the first exit, go for a better one. um, when it comes to the importance of the environment, right? Do you see a lot of people who could actually benefit from not only changing their mindset, but also some of the choices that, because I want to bring it to the choice level, because the way to go from creative relations, meaningful connections, to happiness, I believe it's also a matter of making some smart choices.
Of
Do you
course,
think?
our choices are based on our beliefs and our emotions. So, our thoughts and beliefs evoke our emotions, and our emotions motivate our actions and choices. It is very simple. That's why we start with changing the mindset, because new thoughts, better thoughts, healthier thoughts, more loving and pleasant thoughts evoke nicer, better, more inspiring emotions, and we take more inspiring, healthy, and better actions. So it is very simple, the whole thing.
Mhm. Let's go back to the law of attraction. And could you give me, like, our audience, a nice, pleasant, happy manifestation example? Something that you cherish and use as an example to others, to not to understand, but also know what to expect.
It is very important.
How to do it, right?
It is very important that we are manifesting every single moment. all our life that we are living, every single experience, thought, and emotion is a manifestation. This is how it works. We are manifestors. The thing is how to do it consciously, how to be able to observe our thoughts and to see how our thoughts manifest into reality. So, everything that we have attracted in our life, all the people, all the experiences, all the events and emotions, they have been a thought in our head. So everything is a manifestation. The thing is how to do it consciously. For example, let's say I want to go on a cruise. This is an example that I like to give very often.
Yeah.
And one tool is to create a collage of your desires, make a vision board, a dream board, put it somewhere. And I had this cruise on my collage. And out of nowhere, my sister who lives in Germany is calling me, "Do you want to go on a cruise?" And I'm like, she has small kids. She never believed in cruises. She thought they are for old people. And out of a sudden, she's inviting me to go on a cruise. So I have thousands of examples like this. Whenever I want something, I'm not too attached to it. I just say, "Oh, it would be nice if I go on a cruise," and I put it there and I look at it, and then the universe brings it with somebody or somewhere with some ideas. It is happening. So this is how the whole process is working. We are clear what we want. We believe that it is possible for us and we deserve it. We imagine it happening, and then we let go. We don't fix on it. We don't think about it anymore. We are just sure it is going to happen. If it's good for us, if we still want it, it is going to happen. It's not a point of if, but when. So this certainty, this is what we need to develop to eliminate the doubt that we are deserving or that if this is possible for us. Everything is possible, and we deserve anything that we want, and it is possible.
This sounds very much like some people are very good at sermon, but actually what we are hearing is not someone's teaching. In a way, it is also, I call this the voice that we all have, internally. Some people are very good at listening to the good voices and actually take guidance from their inner self. It's like somebody who's trying to show you the best way for you, interesting and creative ways. And then somehow we seem to kind of ignore the good voice and always kind of pick the easiest or sometimes evil voice, nasty one. I believe controlling the reactions and the kind of the reflexes that we have in terms of uh, you know yesterday, for example, I was mentioning something and something new, and I just received a quick answer that, "Oh, you always say that." Right? So basically you cannot actually get out of the relationship loop because they already made a judgment and it has to be changed. But how do you do that? I think the inner voice is a very good starting point. Do you think is this something that you use, something that
Yes.
you
Yeah, this is what I have been talking about all the time. I just didn't call it inner voice, but our thoughts. Our thoughts are this inner voice. This is how we think with our inner voice. And this is the awareness, observing our inner voice. Yes, sometimes it's telling us things that are unpleasant. So the first steps is just to learn to observe, to be aware of what our inner voice is telling us, and to understand that this is not us. We are not our thoughts, we are not our voice, we are not our mind, and we can
actually I
change
strong
this.
I strongly believe in talking to yourself. It's a very important skill. Why? Because most of the time we are bombarded by so many ideas that if you don't like take notes, we cannot remember them. Memory is not our best, in terms of really having every thought pinned down. Usually thoughts come and go. But if you have a kind of a person inside you that you can talk to, this creates a dialogue. And I think this is the only way to reach a certain level of awareness of yourself is actually to talking to yourself. And sometimes you can actually tell yourself, stop believing that, because that's actually could be something else. So it could be like a, I don't mean like a imaginary friend, I mean really like a mirror that you can use to really understand what you're thinking. I have seen so many people there who are lost because they cannot understand themselves, what this inner voice is trying to say.
Yes, the first step is just to observe the thoughts and this inner voice, just to notice what is our voice telling us, just to notice and to accept. Okay, at this moment, my voice is telling me to do something that another part of me knows that this is not good for me. And I can decide now which voice to follow. Do I do this again that I know where it's going to lead, or I do something different? Whichever thing we do, we just observe and accept for now. Because until we are ready to make a different choice, we are going to go this path. But there will be some point when we will have enough and we will say, okay, I see how I'm hurting myself. I see how I'm making these unproductive choices again and again and again. I had enough of this. So it may be through anger, like when you get so angry with yourself that you said, okay, enough. Or it can be through self compassion. You say, okay, I see that you are still hurting. That's why you need to do this to soothe yourself. It's helping you somehow. So there are different paths, but the observations, the self-awareness and acceptance, until we are ready to make a different choice, this is the path in my understanding.
Mhm. Well, still though, the voice can also ask you or suggest to do some very nasty things as well, right? So love and hate. How do you deal with the negative side of the voice?
This is what I'm saying. We observe it, we are aware of it, we know that this is not us, this is the voice of fear, this is the voice of illusion, this is the voice probably of some of our parents, but this is something that we don't have to believe. This is not us. We are the observer who is observing the thoughts, who is observing the feelings. We are not this body, we are not this mind, we are not these emotions. We are the observer who is noticing them. And when we don't identify with these thoughts, but we can observe them, then we can distance from them a little bit and stop believing. That's why I call them illusions, limiting beliefs, all these unpleasant thoughts and self talk. These are illusions based on fear. And when we learn to observe them and to realize that this is not true, to distance ourselves, and as you said, to start to have a dialogue, which how the affirmations have been created. When we start repeating positive affirmations to replace our negative beliefs with, this can help. But it also needs to be done in a specific way.
I hear some terminology that probably maybe our audience can, if they want to get on this path, that you're already quite many years on it. Maybe some kind of literature. Maybe we can write a piece of text that we can share with our audience. What are the key, let's say, influences you had or you would recommend them to follow? You don't have to answer it right now, but maybe just a few things like are there
I
some
would like
books?
to answer now because for all this, I have been on this journey for more than 15 years and I have tried so many different sources and things and techniques and practices, many, many things. What is most helpful for me is, first of all, meditation, because it's much easier to have to observe the thoughts and just be present with them than to try to exchange the unpleasant thoughts with pleasant thoughts. This is very, very challenging and almost impossible. But when we learn to meditate, when we learn to observe the mind, when we learn to observe what reactions in the body our thoughts are evoking, this is how self-awareness is being trained, how we get familiar with how the mind is working. So meditation is a practice that I do every day for more than
Mindfulness also, right? Mindfulness
yes,
also.
this is mindful meditation. Also, journaling is another tool that is very helpful. There are different types of journaling, but if we can keep a journal of the positive aspects of our life, or appreciation journal, just to write what we are thankful about, what we like about our life, this is also very helpful. And of course, the teachings of Abraham Hicks, this is something that has helped me tremendously, and I still listen to their recordings every day. There are free recordings on YouTube, and I go to their seminars. And the book, they have many books, but the book that I recommend is called Ask and It Is Given, with 22 exercises, processes that help us change our mindset, that help us feel good, they help us understand this emotional scale I was talking about. So only these three things would be enough: meditation, journaling, and reading Ask and It Is Given. That's more than enough as a start.
Yeah, I think the it's good to know these let's say well developed techniques, the literature on that. Why? Because, like you said, there are so many self-help kind of tools, books, and sometimes it's a bit difficult to choose or even evaluate which one is actually correct, let's say. But
There
I
is
want to go.
There
Yeah,
is no
exactly,
right and wrong.
exactly.
There's nothing that helps everyone. For some
That's what I
people,
mean.
the teachings of Abraham make sense. They're very helpful. For other people, it's hard to grasp. It's hard to understand. That's why we need to try to check, to experiment, and find what is closer to our understanding, to our belief system, to our traumas, and work with it. So try, find new things, see what works for you, and go for it.
It would be good if you can drop me a note with those. Maybe there not just one author, but maybe there's some. But I want to also understand in terms of becoming a practitioner, right? Becoming. What are the books for the professionals who want to do this? Maybe even it
Yes.
can be some study in a university. Maybe there are also some studies that are coming out on these things.
Yes, the coaching itself, it's a method that can be learned in different places, like the Erickson Institute, the Nobel Manhattan. There are many institutions and courses and certifications for coaching. Coaching is a method that helps you find the answers within yourself. The coach believes that you know best what is best for you. And with a specific technique and sequence of questions, helps you create your own strategy, your own plan. So this can be taught from many books about coaching, many certification institutes. This is the first step, to learn the coaching method, because for me this is the best method that works with the mind so far. Coaching is like the next, like the new therapy. It's the new age therapy, in my opinion.
So if anyone would like to become a love coach or would like to consult with you on going to your program, could you share with us where we can find you? And because we don't have some kind of a presentation, but we can add that later. So if you can share with us for our audience, what is the best way to get in touch, or are you completely full? Is there a waiting list? How does it work?
Yes, I'm available on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. My name is Eva Kuleva. You can find me very easily. I reply to all the people who approach me. I still have a few spaces open in my coaching practice. I'm taking a few more clients right now. So I'll be really happy to talk to you and see if we are a good match to work together. Also, if not, I will recommend you to take part in some of our events, or I will direct you to the videos, or I will give you some other resources you can work with. Or even if I decide that we are not a good match, I can suggest another colleague or a therapist who would be a better match for you. So I
Mhm.
will do my best to help you, no matter where you are, what you need, and if I am the right coach for you.
Now I remember that you also are keen on organizing matchmaking and dating events. Maybe you can also mention how that would work. That you have a group, right?
Yes, there is a group on Facebook which is called Authentic Singles. For all the single people who want to meet new single people, you are welcome to the group Authentic Singles in Facebook. Also, where all our events are announced, the site is called Zapoznajme. We have singles events there. We have coaching events for singles. We have speed dating online. We have Dixit games. We have cooking classes. They're very, very interesting events to have fun, to meet new people, and to learn about yourself.
All in Bulgarian. There's no service for expats.
I coach in English, of course. As you can see, I'm fluent. I have lived in the States. And we haven't started organizing events only for foreigners for now, but most of the people that come to our events speak English because they are professionals from the IT, from finance, HR. Most of them are fluent in English. So if you know some Bulgarian, you're welcome to join and we can continue in English then.
We'll make sure we will drop some links to your website and these Facebook groups so people can easily find you and let's say join the fun. I remember you used to say also not about. I think this discussion became very serious since the beginning, but I also know you as a very fun-loving and so going back to those emotions and thoughts, it's not just a mental process, right? People also need to interact and create some kind of playful version of themselves. Is this correct?
Absolutely. I believe that having fun is what life is all about, enjoying life and giving ourselves pleasure. So, by finding what really brings you joy, I love dancing, I love skiing, I love watching the movies, playing games. So, doing what really makes you happy, it's one of the main ways to create what you want, to attract everything what you want in your life. So have fun, guys.
So it's not just a partner in the chores at home, but also a partner in having fun. And this is what
Oh, of
I'm.
course, the chores at home can be outsourced. I have somebody who is coming to clean my house. I don't do cleaning. Everything that's not pleasant, just outsource it and focus on the fun and pleasure, what makes your heart fly.
So you should have told me this is all about hedonism then. So it's basically enjoy life.
I wouldn't call it hedonism, but enjoying life, yes. Any reason to feel good, just find it and milk it. That's the philosophy.
Now you will leave our audience with a very non-vegetarian image. Milk it. Okay, we'll maybe explain what we mean by that. It's basically you have to enjoy it, right? This is
Yes. If there is something you enjoy thinking about doing or talking about, do it more and more and more until all the joy and fun is gone, then find another thing. So milk the joy and fun out of every topic, every activity, every thought.
okay, but responsibly, let's say, because yeah,
You
some
cannot do this irresponsibly because what is not responsible doesn't bring you pure joy. It brings you guilt, it brings you shame. So that's not what I'm talking about. The pure joy have no side effects.
I think let's not be too naive because there are also evil people out there, and as you know, recent case of
There are no evil people. Don't forget, no evil people, just people who are suffering. They are
well,
all
there
good
are evil
people.
doings. There are evil doings. So
Yes, but they are not
we
evil
should
people.
still.
They are just suffering.
All right, but let's not take their suffering on any of our audience. And I'm just trying to
Yes,
say
of
that
course.
we should
Of course.
also
That's
be a bit modest in our desires, right? I think
No,
this
we
is
don't have to be modest in our desires. We have to want more and more and more. No modesty. I don't believe in modesty. We just need to be able to put boundaries.
you're
Yes,
such
no
a you're
modesty.
su-
Just desire as much as you want. Believe that you deserve all your desires to come true. Don't be
all
afraid to
right.
dream big.
Still be careful and not fall in the hands of Dexter. If you know who Dexter is, and actually he says he only kills bad people. But anyways, so let's leave it on our funny note. Watch more Walt Disney. Watch more positive side of things. But you see, again, remember what I said about culture. For example, in Asian culture, violence is very much associated with courage and positive values. So actually, for them, violence is kind of a positive thing, like in
I
anime
don't think
culture, you
so.
know.
This is some misunderstanding.
But there's a whole animation culture, as you know, that is only studios like Ghibli
Let's
were
not
able
focus
to.
on violence. Let's not focus on violence now. Let's
I'm not
focus on what
focusing.
we
I'm
want
just
to
saying,
attract in our life.
stay away from those individuals who are focusing on that. That's what I was trying to
Yes,
say.
and the only way to stay away is to not think about them, not talk about them, don't focus, and they will be out of your experience. Remember, we attract everything with our experience, with our focus. So, whatever we focus on, we attract. If you talk about it, you will attract it. So, don't talk about it, don't think about it.
Okay, and don't listen to the news. This is the best way not to.
Absolutely. Only happy news. You're allowed to listen only to happy news.
Well, this is always my. I actually spotted quite a few individuals. I call them happy news journalists. When I find them, I try to stay close to them because they're always spotting and reporting and sharing the good things, and try to stay away from people who just all the time. I mean, I had to remove quite a few people from Facebook kind of groups. I mean, not my groups, but from my connections, because at the end, the only thing you receive from them or what they share is completely toxic. So I
Yes,
think
that's
the
why I'm such a journalist. I always share positive things on my Facebook profile. So make friends with me, send me a friend request on Facebook, and you will see how positive my wall is.
I think I put comments and like quite a few of your comments, and basically this is the best way to keep above the water. You know, to always float in the positive, to support each other as well, because yeah, I think this discussion about good and evil is also about choosing your group, because if you choose the positive people, you will end up in a positive, let's say, echo chamber, right? Uh, uh, Again, professionally, you had to work a long way. You had to go a long way, transforming yourself, transforming what you study, transforming your thoughts, your techniques, creating a program for others. But you also mentioned that ultimately you would like to maybe run something like a love university.
Yes, I have many ideas. I have big ideas. I would love to help not only just a few hundred people per year, but like as many people as possible to think joyful thoughts and to find happiness, to believe that they can live with their partner in love. So there are many ways this can happen. One way is the love school or love university, which is like a society. It can be an online platform. It can also have events with people who come together. It may be even singles events. It may be on cruise ships. So I have many, many ideas how to bring together positive people, especially who are single or couples, maybe just to share the love and happiness and to learn from each other and to share the wisdom. So it's like a win-win community that we help each other in every way.
I have one good news for you. I kind of study and make some presentations on the evolution of of humanity, you know. And the latest findings that I really like very much, because I consider myself a utopian and I try to kind of find ways that as a society we can go in that direction. So one anthropological study of many scientists who came together was that now we are evolving towards Homo amans, people who love. So I think this is the choice that we have actually. Again, choices are very important as a society. We could be evolving into what I call uh, idiocracy, that we could be going towards a very idiot society, or we could go towards a loving society. I think the second one, if enough people say it, enough people broadcast it, enough people write about it. So I'll send you one article about that. Basically, this is something that I was trying to prove, and there are other scientists who are working on that. It's kind of a natural evolution that if you're advanced enough, there are only future is love, basically, because everything
Yes.
else will only cause trouble for everyone else. So
Yes, I have no doubt that we are going towards this loving society, and all these spiritual teachings, and so many more people understand and find out the power of happy thoughts and happy deeds and emotions and sharing and supporting each other. It has already happened. It is just a point
Mhm.
of time. We are reaching the
Well,
tipping point. It's like every process in the economics, there is a process. There are always the early adopters, then the followers, and then when we reach the tipping point, then this is mass. So we are reaching the mass love thinking and positive thinking. I see that.
yeah, it's not just an individual choice. For me, this thing that we call society, it should and it must exist only for solving problems. So if we are actually using our collective power to solve problems, then I think the only what is left is fun and loving. So I would like to leave our conversation with this message for the future, that future is love. So let's work on this and
Not only future, now is love. Love is now and in the future and everywhere. That's all there is. Love is energy, and we're all love.
let's make it today, tomorrow, and the day after. Thank you so much, Eva. And
Thank you,
now
Levent.
that
It was a pleasure for me.
this is, and I will probably organize similar topics about the evolution and Homo amans. And let's see if we can gather a few experts on this. And I will probably invite you as well to for such a gathering of minds, because you see, we need to broadcast this. We cannot just talk about our own life and keep it to ourselves. We need to tell everyone.
That's what we are doing.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much,
Thank you. Ciao. See you
and see you
soon.
soon. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Oh, love is bigger, bigger than you and me. Swiping left and right, there is no matching. Oh no, I've dated so many. This crusade will never end. That's me online, my profile. That's me in the dating app. Losing my lonely heart, trying to keep dating, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I haven't been to a matchmaker. I have tried more than enough. I thought that I saw you dating again. I thought that I heard you found your match. I think I thought I saw you cry. Every dinner, every double date, I'm choosing my Valentines, trying to keep an eye on you like a lost ghosted crybaby.